Enterprise Management 360, your main source for tech news, analysis, podcasts, and videos for the enterprise.
Hello and welcome to this very special episode of the EM360 Podcast, where we're celebrating the launch of our new website by meeting the leaders behind the screen. I am Matt Harris, editor at EM360, and today I'm joined by our CEO Michael Lodge and our head of ops, Ripon. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey Matt, nice to see you again in the office.
So first off, Michael, could you tell us a little bit about the big changes to the EM360 website and why you chose to make them?
Sure. I think to maybe explain about the big changes, I need to tell you where we started out from, and that will give you an idea of where we're going. Okay. So in 2009, when the financial crisis was happening, we had the bright idea of launching a magazine, Enterprise Management 360. And the magazine was designed to land on the desk of IT directors, CEOs, CIOs across Fortune, primarily at that time, Fortune 5,000 companies, because obviously printing was very expensive. So we couldn't distribute it to everyone, so we had to be very selective in terms of who we wanted this high quality magazine to be in front of, and the content in the magazine was written primarily by some of our analyst partners that we're currently working with. So people like John Arnold very much was writing and contributing to that magazine. We also did podcasts, Matt, back in those days. So whilst we did the podcast, we had a very simple website. So yes, the podcast was uploaded on the website, but the focus was the magazine. So we used to transcribe the entire podcast into a 3-page, 4-page feature as a Q&A, right? So it was a written format. You open up the magazine, podcast transcripts are there, and we in between these podcasts we had clients, SAP, IBM, placing single page, double page ads, and that was the model. Throughout the course of EM360's life cycle, we've transitioned. So we stopped producing magazines now, or many years ago we stopped producing magazines, and we digitized everything. So everything went online. We reduced our costs in terms of printing, distribution of these magazines, because they used to go out by name, job title basis via FedEx. It was very, very expensive. So we've reduced that, and instead we've put that investment into our website, designing the website, continually evolving the website, and where 3-4 years ago, where the website was very much purely a content-based platform, today what we're seeing, or where we are now, is a complete revamp of the website, where we are not just a content platform where we're producing great quality podcasts, which you're doing many of them, but where our partners, our analyst partners, John Arnold, Susan Walsh, Brad Laporte, Rich Steinen, can also contribute written content as well as podcasts. But more importantly, we're building a community, right? A community of like-minded individuals, IT, business individuals within global Fortune companies across all verticals, where they can communicate, where they can engage with one another, and bounce ideas off one another. So I don't want to use the word a social platform because we don't want to go down that route. But it's a platform or a community of like-minded individuals in a secure environment, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts in terms of how IT is moving businesses forward, right? So the EM360 is designed to allow IT and business leaders to have an open dialogue in a secure environment, share content with one another, ask questions of one another, and ensure that the content is specific to how IT and business go hand in hand. So we're cutting out all the nonsense about, I lost my job, for example, or my cat recently died. It's very focused on key topics within the IT environment, or enterprise environment, from cybersecurity to AI to data management, enterprise collaboration, everything that's driving businesses forward from an IT perspective. Okay, and the great thing is, because of the analyst partners that we have and the analyst relationships that we have within the enterprise, our community can actually reach out to these analysts and ask questions of them, right? In a very secure manner, and hopefully what that will do is encourage people to use the EM360, not just to upload content, but to create relationships that matter, that work, that are beneficial for all parties.
Yeah, well said. So you want to, build that community. You want to sort of get people engaging in that conversation. Ripon, from the sort of technical standpoint of the website, how did you design EM360tech.com in such a way that encourages that conversation and thought leadership?
Well, I think Michael covered quite a bit of that, but I'll go into a bit more detail in terms of one of the scopes that we had when we initially planned this particular website. So obviously we had the audience there, right? So we had people coming to our website. One of the key factors is, how do we get those individuals to start having conversations with each other, right? How do we start getting these individuals, like Michael said, communicating with our advisory board, getting information, getting advice, and so forth. We've got great podcasts. How do we get individuals to comment on those podcasts? Great content. How do we get individuals to comment on those and give their opinions on those pieces of content? So that was the key focus here. So obviously we identified that individuals, like in any business, there's tiers, right? We get individuals in the IT sector that are mid to high tiers, right? And we wanted to be in a position where we can portray that on our platform. So we essentially put a 3-tier system. So starting with new contributors, going up to rising star, and then we go into our top tiers, which is expert. So when you get enough points, there might be a possibility to also do some podcasts with us, and we might be able to be in a position where we can upgrade you to a guru status. That guru status will open up a lot more for you as an individual. So obviously the guru status is essentially our advisory board, experts in the industry. Obviously the community want to be in that position where they want to reach that expert level so they can start giving advice. Opens up a lot more in terms of what type of content they can put on our platform. And all of this stems down to a very thought out point system. So we didn't want to take this same typical approach as most organizations. So if you go into something like LinkedIn, everyone's on a level playing field, which is brilliant to see. But we know our audience, right? We know that they want to be in a position where they want to talk to experts here, right? The community wants to talk to their peers. So we created this tier system, and we based it around a point system. So effectively the point system, every time you contribute, you get a set amount of points. And the more you contribute to our particular site, the more points you get. When you reach a certain level, you'll go up that particular ladder until the point you get to expert.
So how has that point system, been designed to, keep people on the website and keep them motivated to keep posting?
That was a major factor for us in choosing this. One of the key elements, as with any particular website, we know what happens. You get loads of individuals that come to these websites. They essentially view the pages, and they essentially take the information that they get, and then they move on to the next website and so forth. We didn't want that, right? We want people to start contributing. So when they see an article, why not leave a comment there, right? Leave a particular comment that others can also comment on. And then you can build that a sort of a nice structure of information that's valuable to other users on our platform. From day one, we really wanted to start encouraging people to contribute data, and the point system's ideal for that.
Can I just add to that? I think just adding from what Ripon said, I think it's important. And I don't, the website's not designed as a gamification platform, right? It's not designed as that. It's not designed for that purpose. It's designed to encourage users to upload quality content that their peers can digest, right? Like-minded individuals can digest and can relate to, and be rewarded for that content, right? They've taken their time to write that content. They've put their expertise on that content. And it's important that they are recognized for submitting a great piece of content, and at the same time has been recognized, whilst they're earning these points to reach guru status, that once they reach guru status, then they're paid for that content, right? And if users are engaging in a content that's written by one of the community members, right, then it's only fair that member is rewarded accordingly, okay? And throughout their life cycle, as they upload more content, better content, then of course they should be rewarded for that content.
Yeah, and of course, I think a key sort of thing to remember as well is these aren't just, regular users. These are very well-known tech experts, many of whom you've been working with for, over a decade. Obviously, you're no stranger to building that audience and keeping them there. So what would you say is maybe, one of the ways in which other websites don't get that exactly right, and how do we differ from that?
Yeah, good point. Many years ago, I joined LinkedIn, right? Many years ago. I think I was probably one of the first members of LinkedIn, right? When it launched, I thought it was great. I thought this is just, I was starting out in my professional career, right? And I wanted to network with business people. I wanted to share thoughts, ideas, and I thought it was a great platform. I thought it was amazing. I think LinkedIn has evolved. It's still a great platform. I think it's amazing. But I think where a lot of platforms get it wrong is they've designed it with the advertiser in mind as opposed to the end user in mind, right? So for us, or when we were developing EM360, it was always content first for us. It was always a matter of making sure that users, right, gained value, gained insight, gained expertise from the content, and that's what we want. That's in our DNA, right? I don't want us to change that those values. We're a content first platform, and that content first platform is written and is created with the end user in mind. Everything else comes secondary. Yes, we're a commercial company, absolutely. Yes, we want to drive revenue, absolutely, right? But the content has to come first, the end users have to come first, and if we get those two things right, then the commercial side, like any commercial company, the revenues will happen. And our revenue, if you look at the website, Matt, there are no banner ads on the website, right? That spoils the user experience, right? We wanted to ensure that everything about the website was about quality content. So forget banners, forget silly posts. All this has been eliminated, and all we want to focus on creating good content, quality content, reaching the right audience at the right time, and giving them the ammunition, the information they need to take their businesses forward.
Yeah, I think that's a really sort of commendable philosophy to have, especially in today's day and age. Ripon, from more of a CX and UX perspective, how have you developed the signing up process? How have you developed the content posting process with that content first idea in mind?
I believe Michael's touched upon one of the key aspects of it. We didn't want to be in a position where we present advertising to our end users, and I think for most sites like LinkedIn and so forth, advertising does work. The advertising model itself works in terms of monetizing and so forth. But from our perspective, we've always had a website where it's clean of advertising material. We didn't want to be in a position where end users come to our site, they're looking for particular content and get thrown up, oh, this is available, X, Y, and Z. So we moved away from that particular model. One of the key aspects of what I see as a very good site is essentially clean design, right? So from our website, when you go to it right now, very clean, well laid out in terms of UI, very easy to get content from our site. If you're looking for something specific, obviously from one of our key selling points is our podcast and our content, so that had to be forefront right there in the homepage. Podcast huge, so it's right there, right at the top, and working with a huge number of our vendors. Very key elements of what we do is there on the homepage in terms of trending content. Trending content will be a big element going forward. So users will be able to select what they're interested in, what sections they're interested in, what type of content they're interested in, and that will be reflected in the trending content section. In terms of our sign-up process, I think our sign-up process is one that we worked on quite a bit. We wanted the website to be free of users that are wasting time, right? Most websites, you get comments, inappropriate comments and so forth. We didn't want any of that on our website. So we worked really hard to find a system that works for us. We could have used authentication methods such as Google and so forth, but we landed with LinkedIn because that's what we believe a lot of our users will essentially resonate with. So let LinkedIn do all of the hard work. They put a lot of effort in on their platform to ensure that they don't get bad actors signing up and so forth. And we want to leverage that, right? So anyone that comes to our website is a genuine user. So at the moment, we're only allowing LinkedIn logins, right? But that doesn't mean it's connected to LinkedIn. You essentially go in and create your own profile on our website. And the profile is quite critical as well. So I believe that if you're taking the time to create great content on our website, that content should be attributed to you, and your profile should be able to present you to other users as well. So we've worked quite a lot in getting that user profile sorted out. I think it's really good. It presents the end user quite well. In terms of sign up, we've also worked on other aspects such as sign up with LinkedIn. One of the key aspects of what we wanted to do is basically ensure that the end user doesn't spend a lot of time trying to sign up. I've had so many different platforms where we signed up and the sign up process took a long time, right? This LinkedIn authentication allowed us to have an instant sign-in process with very minimal fuss. We've timed it roughly around 13 seconds to sign up, as opposed to other platforms, which is roughly around 38 seconds. So from our perspective, that will help a lot in terms of driving individual users to our website and in the experience of users coming to our website as well.
Yeah, well said, Ripon. And Michael, I think it's quite admirable that, after 2 decades of EM360, you're still finding ways to, be at the forefront of what the tech community needs and wants. My final question for you as a business owner would be, what is your one personal secret to success, and how do you kind of use that to drive EM360 forward?
Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily just one secret to success, and success can be measured in so many different variables, right? If you're asking me what is the secret to what we've done here and the success of EM360, I would say the following. I would say, in any industry, I would say be passionate about what you do, right? Obviously, if there's no passion, right, you're not going to commit to anything, right? You need to be passionate about something, and that passion is what drives you. But more importantly, or maybe just as importantly as passion, is surround yourselves with people that are just as passionate about you, about what you're trying to achieve and what collectively you can achieve, right? So I've been very fortunate at EM360, whilst we're a small company, focusing on one core topic area, which is enterprise IT, we've been very lucky in terms of having people around us, and certainly I've surrounded myself with people like Joe in the US, who's been with us for 11, 12 years, David, our head of sales in the UK, who's been with us for 10 years. It's these people that drive and can determine the success of an organization and a company, right? So be passionate about what you do, absolutely, and make sure you surround yourself with people that are just as passionate about what they do within their respective field. So we're very lucky to have people like you, Matt, passionate about journalism and creating great content. We're very lucky to have people like Ripon, who's passionate about building and creating great platforms. We're very lucky to have people like Aditya and our marketing team and Jono and so on. So we're very lucky to surround ourselves with people that are passionate about what they do, because that is ultimately how you're going to get to an area where you can say, okay, I've achieved some sort of form of success.
Well said. Michael, Ripon, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you to you for tuning in as well. Remember, our new site is live right now and it takes just 13 seconds to make an account. So if any of this did interest you, then join em360tech.com and start your content publishing journey today.